Jiu-Jitsu here in Long Beach. Please welcome to the mat now, representing Warrior Camp. It is Pablo, the Hurricane Alfonso. What are we doing?
There should be at least one thing here where we can talk to man. Is it impossible?
Ladies and gentlemen, we continue our opening round matchups. Please welcome to the mat, representing Warrior Camp, Pablo the Hurricane Alfonso. And his opponent, representing Gracie Apollo Beach, it is Spencer Mumm. All right, we are set for the final matchup here of our opening rounds. On the left side of the bracket, that is Spencer Mumm taking on Pablo Alfonso.
Ready? Fight!
Jonathan Romero, our referee, TJ DeSantis, Eric Capella Cruz, Brandon McCaffrin here inside Thunder Studios, Long Beach, California, Combat Jiu-Jitsu Worlds 2019, the Bantamweights. Alfonso trying to initiate takedown there early. This guy's tying up on the feet. We changed the get-down rule for this event. These guys aren't going to be allowed more than 1 minute of standing action before they're forced to the mat. And right there, we see Alfonso force the action to the mat himself.
Yeah, we're not going to need that minute.
A nice little arm drag tie-up.
Which I like the move, Brandon, because this is all about getting the finish. 2 minutes is really a long time to kind of burn in regulation before we get any action on the floor.
Yeah, I mean, the point of this event is let's find out who's the best at jiu-jitsu when we can hit each other.
Right.
Right, and so I like the get-down rule. I like it a lot, personally. Mom doing a great job here of keeping the posture controlled, keeping it down. You see he uses that left overhook, and look how he gets out to his side. That's a really nice job. But now we're going to see Alfonso start to work this flat back half here. Nice passing on the top.
Alfonso driving with his head as well. Not really putting a lot of weight on Mumm's face, but while you can't headbutt in this tournament, the head can be a vital tool for making your opponent feel that pressure.
Yeah, not just can be, it should be.
Some left hands here from the bottom by Mumm.
Nice crossface.
Yeah, that was really nice work there.
Back to the closed guard here, opened up for a brief moment.
Deep overhook from Mame, trying to work something, maybe a triangle here.
He's looking at wrist control there on the right side, the overhook on the left. He's going to switch his game up a little bit. See if he's open on the other side, perhaps. Mame doing a good job here with his closed guard. Oh, hey, another Sakuraba double chop.
That's the third one tonight. This is one of the last match, too, that Alec Harn sort of slipped with.
That pleases me so much. Nice high guard here from Mame. So he's thinking about this sort of pyramid-style position, looking to work his left leg out to try to get this triangle.
That wasn't a slip of the tongue mentioning pyramids and Mame's. It is Spencer Mame. I had it as Spencer Mumm earlier in the voiceovers, but Spencer Mame going to work here with Pablo Alfonso. Alfonso making his CJJ debut, as is Mame.
Hey,
hard right hands there by
Those are
Spencer.
real strikes from the bottom position, straight to the ear right there.
Oh, yeah, that'll mess up your equilibrium.
Yeah, why the ear? That's why they... What movie? It's Fight Club. All right, moving on.
Thanks.
Nice frame from Alfonso, so the triangle is pretty much stuffed as he thinks about where he's going to plant his next strike.
Alfonso has been training for 20 years. Mame 7. Now they disengage back to the feet.
All right, so I would say neither guy really gained the advantage there. They're going to try out something else. Go back to the feet, and let's see if Mame looks to get to the top position since he couldn't get anything working from the bottom.
Mame first got into Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu because he wanted to be a UFC fighter. Now he says it's a tool that helps him maintain his sobriety. Martial arts really a way of life for these guys, and the competition at this level just adds to that sort of lifestyle.
Yeah, right now just battling collar ties and hand grips.
The wrestling becomes so important in this format, like the ability to put the other guy on his back. When the strikes are involved, it's just so much more crucial to be able to dictate where the fight takes place. That's the get down horn, apparently.
Get down, get down.
That get down rule kind of scared me a little bit. That was loud.
Eddie, we should have never gave Eddie the air horn. I don't know who was responsible for that.
All the way, all the way. More. Right. Come on, back. A little more.
So check out the position that they put him in for the get down. It's a butterfly. It's a seated butterfly with 2 underhooks. It's a great position, honestly, for the bottom guy. He's almost all the way under the hips, and he's got a great grip around the body.
Yeah, if you want to go into a leg lock, that's one of the best places to start off from.
Yeah, and it's a great place for sweeping as well. It's so easy to get under the guy and elevate him right there, but good job using it to stand up instead. A foot sweep attempt here from Mame. Alfonso posting on the head.
Sorry to interrupt you. Just got some news here. Icon 1 Muay Thai from Rafael Cordeiro is headed to Curitiba, Brazil, June 15th. And then Icon 2 in Curitiba coming up November. Combat Jiu-Jitsu Worlds. Eddie Bravo, Victor Davila, Rafael Cordeiro taking the show to Brazil.
Strong takedown by Alfonso there, driving through with his palm
Triangle
through
choke.
the chest.
The hand is inside. What's he going to be able to do with it? Okay, so yeah, you see the lock with the fingers on the inside there.
Yeah,
That's
important. Oop, that's not the right way. He wants to punch that left hand back in. He does not want that arm isolated. Mame's doing a good job looking at the armbar as well, which gives him the triangle.
Alfonso goes to his seat, tries to go out the back door. Mame not letting him free, holding on to it. Can Alfonso will his way out? The legs are broken.
Yeah, hard to finish from that angle. When Alfonso had a seat and threw his leg, now this is a
the
little
armbar.
better angle now.
Yeah, smart from Mame to keep switching back and forth here. You get the arm in play now.
Trying to wrap it up.
Little scissor lock.
He could finish that scissor right there.
Mame looked to be in some very precarious danger there, and immediately Alfonso able to get out of one himself. Now back in top position, steps over the head, isolating that head to rain down some strikes.
Excellent. And look at the mean crossface here. Great top positioning by Alfonso so far.
Nice recovery by Mame. Gets that butterfly and back to full guard.
Great match so far, man.
TJ DeSantis, Eric Campella Cruz, Brandon McCaffern here tonight. Thunder Studios, Long Beach, California. Combat Jiu-Jitsu Worlds 2019. Tonight, it's all about the bantamweights. Pablo Alfonso here in the guard of Spencer Mame. Guard is open. Short left hand to the body of Mame by Alfonso. And now there's a little bit of gamesmanship. Mame able to sort of shrug off the body shots, but I think body shots can be used quite effectively here in this type of format, especially as the night gets longer. We get into the quarterfinal, semifinal rounds. Everything wears on a fighter. They feel everything a bit more as they go out there and compete match after match.
Yeah, definitely a nice strike to the diaphragm or a good liver shot if you know how to place it. It can definitely stun your opponent long enough to get to the next position or even find that submission.
Well, even just weight being distributed properly against the diaphragm or against the face is enough to grind and wear on a guy. So striking being added to the mix really changes. I think we're going to learn a lot more as combat jiu-jitsu continues to evolve, a lot more about how effective the body strikes are. What do the body strikes do to a fighter in one match? What do they do to him over the course of an entire 16-man tournament? There's still a lot of education to be had about combat jiu-jitsu, for not just for the fighters, but for the viewers as well.
I mean, it's really an evolution of a sport similar to what mixed martial arts was in its early days. The rules are changing. We're refining everything, and you never know, who's going to make the sort of next move that kicks off maybe a trend that we see on the mat here.
Yeah, that's a great point. You know, you say it's an evolution. I totally agree. It's also a step backwards in the right way. Like it's a step back towards the roots of jiu-jitsu.
Right.
Which is why it has the support of so many of the icons of our sport, like Jorge Gracie, Fabricio Verdum's here in town, in the house tonight. You know, like these guys are behind this sport.
These guys are going to war now. Swinging away. And I think that's one thing. You don't have to be a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu fan to be a fan of mixed martial arts, but you have to be a fan of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu to like combat Jiu-Jitsu. It's still all about the Jiu-Jitsu. It may involve strikes and elements that are similar to MMA, but this is very much a Jiu-Jitsu competition.
Absolutely.
Less than a minute remains here in regulation. High guard here for Mame. Rubber guard.
Yeah, got some mission control happening. He'd love to get a hand on the mat so he could advance his position. But at the very least, he's keeping the posture down and not taking too much damage. But with short time, I think they're going to want to get to a submission if they can.
Now, rope pass from the top position for Alfonso, and he makes it through. And thinking about a bicep, so he's actually looking for a bicep slicer there.
Mm-hmm.
One of the black belts in our gym, Matt Scaff, 10th Planet black belt, incredible with that. I've been on the receiving end of it. It's not fun.
Hard shots by Alfonso to end regulation, but we are headed to another overtime. Jonathan Romero with a flip of that coin.
Choice. Back take.
Alfonso gets the choice. He will elect to take the back of Spencer Mame.
Back up a little more towards me. Back up towards me.
Just a reminder of our overtime rules here. Each half consists of 2 minutes max. There'll be 3 maximum rounds.
All right, guys, here we go. We ready?
Traditional EBI rules here in overtime. No strikes. Body triangle now employed by Pablo Alfonso. How much does the mindset have to change here, Brandon, headed into overtime? You were just doing, traditional CJJ rules, and now it's EBI rules in the overtime format.
I guess it really depends on how well prepared you were for the rule set coming in. My guess is it's not going to be a big deal for these guys because they've been preparing to do it this way. So I don't think it's that big of a change. And I don't think anybody's going to cry if there's an accidental strike thrown. I think we're going to just let it slide.
Especially with these two.
Yeah. Really nice work here by Mame, keeping his back flat on the mat. But you see how Alfonso slips through and uses that, we've been calling it Khabib control, that little 5-0 grip there across the other wrist. It stops the full rotation from the bottom player, Mame in this case.
There you go. Mame breaks the grip. Now he can turn up.
64 seconds of ride.
Armbar. Move forward.
Looks like Mame is going to attack the arm of Alfonso here in overtime.
Which arm you want? There you go.
We've already seen it employed here tonight, the spider web position in overtime, but it's very rare that anybody goes for it in their first opportunity. It seems to be a position that guys go and try to when they're behind. And maybe that's why. It's sort of some guys can hold that position for a long time, others cannot.
Your grip has to be super tight because the point of them getting out is really close. They're a hitchhiker and they're out, or a quick slip of the elbow and they're out. So the deep hook or the wrist control has to be super, super tight.
Alfonso back on the back of Mame.
Using a Kimura grip on the other side there.
Ooh,
quick rotation. Nice.
Almost into a triangle of his own.
Hey, the
That would
counter.
have been crazy. So that was an 11-second ride. So both guys have a fast one back-to-back.
And now Mame on offense, bottom of the second overtime.
See if he can catch up on some of that differential Alfonso created here.
Yeah. He's about 70 seconds behind overall heading into this one.
That might be on his mind here as he takes the back of Alfonso and doesn't really explode with anything early.
Exactly. Doesn't seem to be in a rush. I think he knows, it's coming down to the wire. Best to play this one smart.
And I think we've seen tactics win matches in overtime quite a bit. I remember when Gary Tonin beat Vinny Magalish in EBI. he seemed to be a lot more comfortable with that overtime rule set and was able to win on the ride time, the escape time, and you need to control that.
He's really pushing for this finish right here. Mamay squeezing hard. He's got the crank worked, but there's no choke. So hard to put a dude like this out with a crank. These guys are so tough. I would tap. I'm a baby, but these are grown-ups.
Yeah, Alfonso's doing a good job of biding time, but he needs to be a little more urgent, I think. There it is.
Just a touch over a minute of ride time there for Spencer Mamay.
That pretty much evened it up heading into the third overtime.
Nice.
Alfonso ahead by a couple of seconds. I don't have the official time, so I won't step out too much.
That's still any man's match right now.
Alfonso with one hook.
Ooh, he's flattening him out. Yeah.
Very tapped. Nicely done.
14 seconds.
Pablo Alfonso
Great position.
getting the submission there in the top of the third overtime. So now Spencer Mamay will have limited time to wrap up a submission.
Which arm?
And we see Spencer Mamay.
Oh, crap. 15 seconds here.
15 seconds. Never say never. Spencer Mamay on the arm of Pablo Alfonso. Tick-tock goes the clock. Not his friend at this point in time.
Oh.
I wonder. Oh, he almost got armbarred himself.
Yeah, wow.
There it is. That's a wrap.
Dude, I need to see that again. That was really nice work there. Great escape.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a winner via submission in overtime. Now moving on to the quarterfinals. Let's hear it for Pablo the Hurricane Alfonso.
Good job, guys. Great match.
Solid match between these two gentlemen. A submission comes in overtime, the top of the third. Pablo Alfonso securing his spot in the quarterfinals. Brandon, walk us through some of this action here between Alfonso and Mamay.
So we saw a really even match through the first round. Pablo probably getting the better of it if you had to take it to the cards, but we don't have to take it to the cards. We take it to overtime. Look at that wild exchange there. Mamay went to the arm lock a couple of times in the overtime, and it did not play out for him. Alfonso's back control just a little too good, and then when he had the opportunity to go to that palm-to-palm, go belly down, he closed the deal.
Pablo Alfonso on his way to the quarterfinals with that rear naked choke. He wraps up the neck of Spencer Mamay. Mamay had his opportunity in overtime, but unfortunately for him, Pablo Alfonso had his number on this night, and he is on his way to the quarterfinals. You're watching Combat Jiu-Jitsu Worlds live on UFC Fight Pass.